Hey Tiki Drink and classic cocktail lovers. This is Bourbon Bill with Bourbon Bill's Pirate Bar. On today's show, we have a really exciting 1930s prohibition-era cocktail. But before we get to that, we're going to have just a couple of messages and we'll be right back. Hey Tiki fans, Bourbon Bill here. Hey, we have some exciting news. We publish Wiki Tiki magazine. It's all about tiki culture, mid-century modern aesthetic, has great recipes and interviews throughout the magazine. We have them in print and instant digital download, so get your copy today. The print copies go pretty quick. All right, let's get back to the show. Hey, welcome back. Hey, we're so glad that you decided to tune in today to Bourbon Bill's Pirate Bar, where drinks are not just a cocktail, they're an adventure. Now, let's talk a little bit about the interesting cocktail that we're going to present today. It's a little lesser known, but if you're a fan of Bloody Marys, we think you're really going to enjoy this one. Now, this one comes from the Savoy Cocktail Book by Harry Craddock. Now, Harry was a bartender at the Savoy London Hotel in the late 20s and early 30s. And, you know, when we talk about cocktails during that era, we as Americans think about Prohibition. Now, Prohibition really ran from January 17th of 1920 to December 5th of 1933, where America was allegedly dry. Okay, but that doesn't mean that the rest of the world was. So alcohol was very much alive and well in other places of the world, and quite honestly was alive and well here too, just wasn't legal. All right, so let's talk a little bit about this interesting cocktail. Now, my dad used to have a saying, if you play with the bulls, you get the horns. So just don't have too many of these and, you know, be responsible. Now, let's talk a little bit about what goes into this very interesting cocktail, and we'll save the reveal for what the true name of it is at the end of the video. All right, so we're going to start off with our Mixology and Craft Boston Shaker set. This is a great set. It holds up well, and you can get your own by following the link down in the description. All right, so the first thing we're going to start off with is 1.5 ounces of vodka. Now today we're going to be using Kai vodka. Now our friends over at Kai are actually headquartered in Hawaii, but look online, you can find a local distributor where you can get this. This is actually not potato vodka like some of the others, like Grey Goose and some of those, but Kai is actually distilled from rice. It's actually distilled in Vietnam, and I have to say it's a very light, refreshing vodka. It doesn't leave that aftertaste like some of the others. So again, we're going to start off with 1.5 ounces and throw that in our tin. The next ingredient, now since this is a English sort of drink, we're going to be using Worcestershire sauce, and Liam Perrins is the epitome of Worcestershire sauce, and it's just asked for just a dash or two of Worcestershire. Now, if you've seen some of my other videos, we try to impart a little bit of mixology terminology into this, but we never assume that people are familiar with it. And we know that you can do this at home, learn a little bit, have a little bit of fun, and show off to your friends your newfound knowledge. Now, a dash is just like that, just a drop or two, whereas a splash is more like a bar spoonful, so it actually, when you drop it in the tin, guess what? It splashes. All right, so we add that in, and then our next one it's real simple. It's just a little bit of salt and pepper for taste. got these fancy salt and pepper shakers from a dear friend of mine, Patrick, that's actually moving to Virginia. All right, so we add that in, and guess what? That's almost there. Now, the last ingredient, you say, well, that's not much of a drink, Wheeler. Well, we have a secret ingredient. Today, we're going to be adding chilled beef bouillon. Now, we use Herbox because it's sodium free. You know, some of the bouillons are really high in salt. Wheeler has to watch the salt intake, you know, like a lot of people. So the Herbox is actually sodium free, and it calls for 3 ounces, or if you're across the pond, about 88 3/4 milliliter. Okay, so just heat some of that up, and then put in, you know, the packet of beef bouillon, stir it up, let it chill down, and throw that in. Give it that bully flavor. And all we have to do now is just add a little bit of ice. We're going to throw in a couple of agitator cubes. Give that a good slap. Now, while I shake this down, go ahead and take a moment and hit that subscribe, like, and if you don't mind, if you find somebody that you think would enjoy this video, go ahead and share it out. It helps the algorithm, and we bring this entirely free to you. So, you know, give Bourbon Bill a solid here. Okay. Oh, and I wanted to mention out, we just wanted to have a shout out. We really appreciate your viewers, you know, coming and seeing. If this is the first time you've seen Bourbon Bill's Pirate Bar, thank you. But if you're one of our returning viewers, we really appreciate it. Like Jeff Greer up in New York, or Vicki Evans in Illinois, or we had H38_M96, who gave us a shout out from Brisbane, Australia last week. You know, so hey, we appreciate you, mate, down under. All right. So now that we have that all mixed up, now, oh, I'm going to say, if you wanted this cocktail to have just a little bit more kick, you know, a dash of Tabasco might go a long way. So try it both ways, and let me know down in the comments which way you like best. All right, so we're going to slap one of our Bourbon Bill Pirate Bar drink mats here. We're going to get just an old-fashioned or a double rocks glass for this, and we're going to scoop in some ice into this drink. Oh, I can smell that already. And again, you know, it's an interesting drink. You know, this might be great with a steak tartare appetizer, or with a burger. You know, little sliders. You know, it might be an interesting little companion cocktail for your friends. So keep that in mind when you do that. All right, so we take that and we're going to strain it. Now, the thing with a strainer, a lot of times they have these little springs on them, and that's kind of makes it what's called a gated strainer. Now, you can kind of see the action here. If you have a drink that, you know, you put more ice in it and it doesn't quite melt, you don't want them just plopping into your glass. Or if you have a pulpy drink that uses like pulpy orange juice, some people don't dig that. So you can kind of use that spring action there to kind of gate that and strain that out. We're going to pour that right in. Look at that golden color. Gorgeous drink, gorgeous drink. All right. And that's basically it. Now, this is the big reveal. Okay, we know you saw the title slide and you was like, ooh, that's kind of intriguing. What is that? Okay, this is actually from the 1930s Savoy Cocktail Book. It's called the bullshot, not that other word. Okay, now I've had a couple of comments that said, hey, I need to start using bad language to try to boost my algorithm. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on that. I'm not sure that bad language is always better. You know, we try to make this a semi-adult, family-friendly show, but you tell me your thoughts, and you know, hey, I'm all about listening, okay? Because this is just as much your channel as it is mine. Well, that's it for today. Go enjoy your bullshot cocktail. And, you know, and try it out both ways, and let me know down in the comments. Check out some of our other videos on the channel. And if you have any suggestions for cocktails you haven't seen, put it down, because we're getting pretty close to our 100th episode. Well, that's it for today. This is Bourbon Bill here at Bourbon Bill's Pirate Bar. We hope today was an adventure and you had a little bit of fun making this great drink. And we'll see you soon. Cheers.